Hello, and welcome to the BetterToday YouTube channel, a place dedicated to self-improvement and personal growth through the wisdom of philosophy, psychology, and beyond. Today, we journey into an uncharted realm for many, one that's often feared, yet perhaps misunderstood: solitude. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand the philosophy of solitude, but you might also come to appreciate the hidden treasures it holds. We'll discuss its historical significance, its place in various religions and cultures, and how embracing solitude might be beneficial for you. Let's begin by delving deeper into what solitude really is. It's not merely the absence of company, it's a state of seclusion or isolation, chosen intentionally, often for personal reflection or peace. Historically, solitude was embraced by many religious and philosophical traditions. Monastic traditions in Christianity, the hermit life in Taoism, Buddhist meditation retreats, all these reflect the spiritual value of solitude. Even famous figures like Henry David Thoreau and Albert Einstein sought solitude for clarity and creativity. But why would anyone choose solitude? It's because solitude grants a space for self-exploration, a chance to truly connect with your inner self. It offers an escape from external pressures and allows time for introspection, self-discovery, and healing. However, it's not without its challenges. Solitude, when not embraced consciously, can slip into loneliness and alienation. And what is loneliness? It's a sense of isolation, a feeling of being disconnected from the world, often accompanied by a sense of longing for company or connection. Unlike solitude, loneliness isn't always a choice. It's often a byproduct of circumstance and can lead to feelings of sadness and depression. Yet paradoxically, loneliness can teach us the value of connection, both with others and with our own selves. To grasp solitude's full significance, we turn to the thinkers who've profoundly explored this state of being. Philosophers and thinkers throughout history have not only practiced solitude, but have also attributed their profound ideas and creative insights to this practice. Let's start with Stoicism, a philosophy born in ancient Greece. Renowned Stoics like Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius found in solitude a sanctuary for their philosophical reflections. They believed solitude provided the clarity and peace needed to understand oneself and the world. Take Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and a revered Stoic philosopher. He wrote his private thoughts, which later compiled into meditations during periods of solitude in his military campaigns. For him, solitude was a tool to introspect, reflect on his actions, and guide his self-improvement. His solitude wasn't about escape, but about connecting more deeply with reality and his role in it. But where did the Stoics find the inspiration for their value of solitude? Some scholars argue that they might have been influenced by Socrates, who often retreated into solitude to consult his inner voice, or demon. Stoics believed this inner voice, which can be heard more clearly in solitude, represented our rational and virtuous self, guiding us towards wisdom and tranquility. Let's shift our gaze to the East, to Buddhism. For Buddhists, solitude isn't merely a preference, it's a vital practice to attain enlightenment. Monks regularly practice vipassana, a form of meditation that requires seclusion and silence to observe the impermanent nature of their thoughts and sensations. Buddha himself found enlightenment not in the hustle and bustle of his royal home, but in solitude under the Bodhi tree. Here, away from the distractions of the world, he meditated and realized the Four Noble Truths, the essence of Buddhist philosophy. But why did Buddha and his followers find value in solitude? They believed that solitude aids in eliminating Maya, the veil of illusions that clouds our perception. In solitude, they could confront their internal realities, their desires and attachments, leading to deeper understanding and ultimately to nirvana or liberation. So, as we see, the practice of solitude spans cultures and centuries, offering wisdom and insight to those brave enough to embrace it. Solitude, for these philosophers, wasn't a state of deprivation, but a source of rich, enlightening experiences. Understanding solitude, appreciating its rich heritage, and recognizing its value are the initial steps. But embracing it is a different story. An uncanny fear often creeps in at the thought of solitude. Why do we fear solitude? What are its roots? It's a complex issue with several layers. In many ways, our fear of solitude is evolutionary. We are social animals. Our survival and growth have always been tied to communities and groups. In the depths of our subconscious, being alone might feel like being vulnerable to threats, an instinctual echo from our hunter-gatherer days. On another level, we fear solitude because of societal conditioning. We live in a hyper-connected world where being alone is often associated with being unpopular or unwanted. The constant barrage of social media notifications, the relentless need to be in the loop, can make solitude seem unappealing, even scary. The fear also stems from confronting our inner self, our own insecurities, doubts and flaws. In solitude, there are no distractions, no scapegoats. It's just you and your thoughts, your feelings. This raw, unfiltered conversation with oneself can be daunting. Solitude often holds up a mirror, revealing aspects of ourselves that we prefer to ignore or deny in our day-to-day interactions. It brings us face to face with our fears, regrets, and unresolved issues. This confrontation, though potentially transformative, can seem intimidating. So what do? We run. We fill our lives with noise and distraction to avoid this confrontation. But ironically, running away only gives it more power. It's like covering up a wound without treating it. The more we ignore it, the worse it gets. In denying ourselves solitude, we deny ourselves the chance to heal, grow, and learn. Our fears, insecurities, and flaws continue to lurk in the shadows of our mind, influencing our actions unconsciously. But by facing them in solitude, we can begin to understand them, and in doing so, gain control over them. It's important to remember that fear is a normal response to the unfamiliar. If solitude seems scary, it's probably because it's uncharted territory. But as with any journey, the first step is often the hardest, and every step afterwards becomes easier. Despite the fears and apprehensions we've explored, solitude carries a unique beauty, a charm that has captivated thinkers across generations and cultures. It's an immersive experience, offering treasures that are accessible only to those willing to venture into its depths. Take the Stoics. For them, solitude wasn't a state of deprivation, but of enrichment. It was in solitude that they could genuinely engage with their thoughts, untangle their intricacies, and unearth insights. It was a refuge, a sacred space for introspection, where they could confront life's trials with tranquility and reason. For Buddhists, solitude offered an even more profound experience. It was a crucible for self-transformation, where they faced and understood their illusions, desires, and attachments. Solitude was where they tasted the serenity of mindfulness, the freedom of detachment, and the joy of true understanding. Now let's bring it closer to our modern context. In our hyper-connected world, solitude can offer a respite, a place to disconnect from the incessant chatter and connect with oneself. In the silence and seclusion of solitude, we can hear our thoughts more clearly, understand our emotions more deeply, and align ourselves with our values and aspirations. Solitude allows us to nurture self-awareness, an essential skill in today's world. In solitude, we can reflect on our actions and attitudes, our strengths and weaknesses, our dreams and fears. This heightened self-awareness can guide our personal growth, improve our decision-making, and enhance our relationships. Moreover, solitude fosters empathy. It may seem paradoxical, but it's true. In understanding ourselves better, we learn to understand others. As we come to terms with our own flaws and vulnerabilities, we learn to accept and appreciate the imperfections of others. Solitude can make us more compassionate and understanding. The freedom to explore our minds, to delve into its hidden corners and unearth its buried treasures, is perhaps one of the greatest gifts of solitude. It's like embarking on a voyage within, where each thought, each emotion, each memory is an uncharted island waiting to be discovered. The beauty of solitude lies in its potential to transform. It takes us on a journey within, and in that process helps us grow and evolve. It may seem daunting at first, but the treasures it holds are worth the journey. So, why not give it a try? After all, you never know what you might discover. We've navigated through the landscape of solitude, exploring its meaning, tracing its footprints in philosophy, examining our fears, and acknowledging its beauty. Now we reach the culmination of our journey, embracing solitude. But what does that really mean? And how do we begin? Embracing solitude is about acceptance. It's about accepting ourselves in our totality, our strengths and weaknesses, our joys and sorrows, our dreams and fears. It's about coming face to face with who we truly are, without the masks we wear or the roles we play in society. Embracing solitude is also about understanding. It's about understanding our thoughts and emotions, our motivations and desires. It's about gaining insights into our actions and behaviors, our patterns and habits. More than acceptance and understanding, embracing solitude is about transformation. It's about using the insights we gain to foster personal growth, to shape our attitudes and behaviors, to align our actions with our values. And how does solitude benefit us? Remember Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher who said, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." Solitude, if embraced, can be that quiet, untroubled retreat, a sanctuary for self-reflection, introspection and contemplation. In the pages of Henry David Thoreau's Walden, he said, "I find it wholesome to be alone the greater part of the time. To be in company, even with the best, is soon wearisome and dissipating. I love to be alone. I never found the companion that was so companionable as solitude." These words echo the tranquility and companionship solitude can provide. Embracing solitude can make us more self-aware, more empathetic, more focused. It can foster creativity, boost productivity, and enhance problem-solving skills. It can improve our relationships, our decision-making, our overall well-being. The benefits are profound and numerous. So, dear viewer, as we end this exploration of solitude, I invite you to embrace solitude. Step into that quiet space within you. Listen to your thoughts, understand your emotions, meet your true self. Remember, the journey within is the most thrilling journey of all. Thank you for joining us today on this introspective journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Better Today. Remember, every day is an opportunity to be better.